Hello Leo, welcome to Monarch Intuition, and today I'm going to be doing your March 2023 monthly check-in reading for you. So if you're new to my channel, what I like to do is I like to pull one major arcana to see the energy and then clarify with a different deck. So what major arcana needs to come out for the sign of Leo? What's going on for you? One more shuffle. I'm going to get you a riffle shuffle. All right. We have the moon. So secrets, treachery, the occult mysteries right here. So when I see the moon energy, something is hidden. Some sort of secret, some sort of message that you have. It's hidden deep behind the mystery or the veil of the future. So let's look at this moonlight energy. It can also be a representation of trials and tribulations within your life, but always remember that good triumphs over evil. Remember, the woman stood on the moon, right? She was giving birth to the baby, and the dragon was rising up from the pit in the story of Revelation. So what do we need to know about this moonlight energy? Something is about to be purged from a system. Something is about to be revealed, or you're looking for this big reveal. So what's going on with this moonlight energy for Leo? We have the world, a completion of a cycle. We have the Three of Cups, and we have the Six of Cups. So here's the thing. I feel like you are completing a cycle right here. You're completing the cycle of mystery, completing the cycle of the moonlight. With this Three of Cups, it's like you're celebrating because people are giving to you, or you're giving back to other people. People want to celebrate who you are. So what's going on with this world energy? Completing the cycle of the moon. So you might be dealing with an eclipse right here. You might be dealing with, cycles of the world, mysteries of the world. You have all of the mysteries of the world, or you have a mystery that allows you to unlock something within this world energy. What's going on with this? What do we need to know for you? We have the Sun, we have the Death card. So with this is the transformation of death. You're blending two harmonies together. So you have completion of a cycle. You're very happy that the cycle is over. But with cycles being over, new cycles come. That's the ebb and flow of death right here. So when I see this energy, it's like you've released something into the world. It's like the fifth element, okay? Because remember, light is the fifth element. The sun is not actually really a fire. Yes, it can start a fire because it's hot, but it is not fire like in the same way Sagittarius or Aries is. It is the light element. It's at the top of the pentagram, right? So let's look at the Three of Cups energy. We have the Page of Wands coming out. People are celebrating you. The Lover's energy. People want to have connections with you right here. People are very happy with who you are, but I feel like you're preoccupied with something else. You're preoccupied with what you have going on within your life, whereas people want to celebrate who you are. People want to have, interpersonal connections. People view you, maybe they view you as an angel right here. So what's going on with the Six of Cups energy? We have the Hanged Man and the Two of Cups. With this Hanged Man, you're looking back on your past right here. You're wondering about the great secrets and how you can reveal the great secrets to people, or maybe helping people through this trial. Maybe you've been through a situation or a cycle within your life, and you're trying to reveal to someone or to a group of people how you overcame something. Or it's kind of like this teacher energy. The Hanged Man with the Two of Cups is like revealing what he knows, and revealing what he knows with the scorpionic way. So in kind of like a gentle way, or a mirage, or through a mystery, through rose-colored glasses. So what do we need to know with this Leo energy? What's going on with this Death card and the Sun? We have the Justice, so that's perfect balance. Because remember, when we look at the Sun and we look at death, this is very symbolic to one another because, these three cards are extremely symbolic to one another. When we look at the Sunlight card, there's a child riding on the white horse, right? And then when we look at the Death card, there is a black figure riding on the white horse, and then there's a child in the background. So death comes for all things. In the original idea of the Moon card, there are two pillars. And if we look right here, these two pillars within the Death card, the sun is setting. Well, in the Moon card, the moon is rising above these two pillars. So if you look at the sun, you look at the moon, and you look at the Death card, it's kind of like foreshadowing a story. So there is balance, there is justice being handed down. You've completed a cycle, you're ready to move forward in a new cycle within your life. It's kind of like, this angel guidance, all right? So remember, some people get stuck in cycles forever and they live their cycles like that. And other people, they can rise through it. It's kind of like breaking through the glass ceiling of like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. Because when we look at the World card, there are the four faces on the world, right? And then there's that, there's the angel of light sitting in the center of the world. So it's like the four kids and then Charlie sitting in the center breaking through. So what do we need to know about This for you, Leo, you've broken through something. You have divine justice. It's like something is ending, but something is beginning. It's completely balanced. We have the Chariot rising above a situation. It's kind of like the prophet who never died as well, Elijah. It's like someone is going to be immortal or recognized as like this immortal figure or immortal situation. Oh, we have the Five of Swords coming out. What's being offered to you is very sharp criticism because you're able to rise above something. I feel like someone is just jealous over something right here. It is what it is. People are always going to have harsh criticism. I feel like you're releasing something. You're telling someone a secret. You're telling someone your knowledge of something or how you passed a cycle and they didn't. I don't feel like you're coming from a very braggadocious way. I just feel like it's from a very humble, very standpoint. Like, yeah, past it, moving on. And people are trying to hold you back. People are like, oh, you're moving on. Look at you, you loser. You have the High Priestess. Well, you understand the harmonies right here. This is a very symbolic reading because let's look at the sun and the moon now. Remember, they exist together for a reason with this death energy. When we look at the Chariot, you have duality all throughout your reading, okay? So when we look at the High Priestess, there's the white pillar with the sunlight energy representing the positive polarity. We have the moon pillar with the black pillar representing the negative polarity. She is foreshadowing the blending of both harmonies right here with the Chariot energy. Because when we look at the Chariot energy and we look at the Justice and the High Priestess, she has to equally balance out light and dark. She's sitting there balancing them out, right? She's understanding. She's read all of the text. She's read all of the book. She understands everything about light and darkness polarity, about religion, about mathematics, right? She is the High Priestess for a reason. She hands off these pillars to the Justice to make sure that they're completely balanced, right? When she hands them off to the Justice, Justice weighs them and says, yes, these are perfect. Then the next step is to hand them off to the Temperance card. Temperance takes both elements of equal parts, right? Oil and water, light and darkness, and then blends them together. And what is formed is this Chariot. As you can see, the Chariot stands above this. And you have the black pillar or the black Sphinx with the white headdress now. And then you have the white Sphinx with the black headdress. Very symbolic to the yin and yang of this. But what's important to understand about the Chariot energy, I talked about this in Cancer's reading, is that the story of the Chariot is kind of like having the two wolves inside of you. In reality, it wasn't wolves, it was horses. And the horses, it's like having the one black horse and then having the one white horse. And the charioteer is constantly struggling because this one white horse wants to ascend and the black horse wants to stay on the ground. If he can magically blend them together and he can choose to, add both elements at the same time, he can ride on the ground and he can ascend, or he can just levitate above the ground. So it's like the prophet Elijah. So something is levitating above a situation. Something is like very profound. You have a very profound sense of ideaship right here, or a very profound knowledge within something. So what do we need to know? That's what's being handed off to you with this Four of Cups. And I feel like you're walking away from it, or maybe something is being offered to you. There's harsh criticism, but I feel like you intuitively know. You intuitively know something right here. You know something's perfectly blended. You know something is perfectly harmonious. You know something makes complete sense. You have the Five of Pentacles and then you have the Nine of Pentacles. It's like you don't care because you're walking away to your money. It's like whatever this is, it makes you money. Whatever this is, whatever you're revealing, whatever you're telling people, you don't care what people think about you while you're walking away, because they're going to say you're broke, you're this, you're that. But it's like you have this right here. You have the Nine of Pentacles. You're standing all alone in your garden and you're perfectly fine. So we have the Four of Wands. It's like you're celebrating with the people who are close to you. You're moving away from all the sadness and all the heartaches because you're done with this cycle. It's like you've broken through. You have the Ace of Swords proving that you know the truth. And yeah, it can make you a little sad because you can't take certain people with you. It's kind of like that song, Once I Was 7 years old. When he says, once I was 7 years old, if you listen to it, it's like, I've had to leave some people behind. You're looking at the people who you've had to leave behind, but here's the thing, you have the proper connection, you have the proper truth with the Two of Cups that's coming out behind you. The Two of Cups, if you just turned around and looked away from the sadness that you left behind, it's kind of like, imagine you broke through the great glass ceiling, right? And then you're sitting there looking at the chocolate factory saying, oh, I want that. Well, why would you want that? Willy Wonka's like an interdimensional space traveler. You don't need to have that. You can move on with your life, right? So he can create anything. He can move anything. It's like the concept of, you have to understand Roald Dahl was a master mason. All of his stuff is very occultic, all right? And then there are two books. There's The Great Glass Elevator as the second book, so maybe you need to read that book. I feel like if you read a lot of older occultic literature, especially by Roald Dahl, or if you watch older movies from like the 60s, 70s, 80s, you will understand things more if you have like a grander picture of the moon energy, which is the occult. And I'm not saying the occult is a good thing. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's something that if you are bad, you can do bad things with it. If you are a good person, you can do good things with it. It's perfectly blended. It's right-hand path, left-hand path. You know, everyone has a choice they can make. And that's kind of like the concept of chaos right there. Light and darkness, darkness and light. They exist for reasons. It's kind of the concept of the graph, right? As above, so below, positive going up, negative going down, to the left is to the negative, to the right is to the positive. If you were to separate all matter in the universe, you had all matter here and then nothing over here, you would have two different concepts, right? But altogether, there's matter within the darkness, there's matter within space, we have planets within space. So it's kind of like having that perfect harmony. Like, they can't really exist without one another. I mean, I guess they could, but it would just be nothing. So you have the Six of Cups being offered to you along with the moon. You're being offered the secrets right here. You're being offered a secret at least to complete a cycle, to move forward. It's like the secret of the occult. You have a secret or you have multiple secrets. So you have the Eight of Swords, but you can't see that or you don't understand that for yourself. You have something right here, like something is really good for you. Something's really blessing you, but at the same time, you're completely stuck on what you have. You're stumped on a situation, but you have the Temperance angel coming in to alchemize a situation for you, to blend something to show you. I feel like that's what you're waiting on. I feel like everything has already been balanced out. I feel like everything is, you know, it's probably already mixed. All you have to do is wait for it to be delivered to you. And once it's delivered to you, you will understand what it means. But I don't think you quite understand the concept. I feel like you are still in the dark. I feel like something else needs to be illuminated to you. And that might be what the Death card is. Maybe you have to be illuminated to death, to an ending, to something right here, to negative polarity, to the concept of nothingness in order for something to be perfectly blended. If you were to understand this cycle right here, because you have the concept of everything, of life, and then of death, of nothingness, right? So that's also the perfect blendings coming out as well. That could be the justice energy. So I feel like maybe that's what you're not understanding right here, is the concept of life and death, light and shadow. So we have the Devil with the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Ten of Wands. I feel like what's really scaring you is I feel like you think something's from the devil. I think that's the problem. I think that you need to let that go. I feel like your problem right here is that you're scared of something because you feel like it's from, you know, a negative entity. It very well might be, but at the same time, that's who you are as an individual. When we look at, say, Adam and Eve, you know, they have a sin nature. Everyone has a sin nature. I'm not saying that you need to go into that. It's like you need to understand something about yourself, though. You have the Knight of Cups coming out. You have the Seven of Cups, so the angel coming in to deliver something, because remember, you're sitting there, you're waiting on this cup to be delivered to you. You want the one with the angel in it. You have the King of Pentacles representing that you have some sort of status or notoriety coming towards you. You can't see that. You have the Three of Cups and the Empress coming out. So you do have some sort of celebration on this earth. You do have some sort of celebration with, you know, good financial abundance. I feel like you need to drop the negative entities about the devil right here. I don't think the devil is trying to plague you, but I feel like it might be plaguing your mind. I feel like that's your problem, is like, if you could see what this actually is, I feel like you're thinking something is the devil. In reality, it's just death, okay? That's what it is. I think you're confusing the death and the devil together, because the death and the devil both sit at the negative polarity of things. I think that's what the problem is. Yeah, Queen of Wands with the Fool. That's what the problem is that you don't understand that death is different from the devil. You think that anything that sits on the negative polarity is probably evil. I think you need to drop that thought for yourself. You need to have a brand new beginning, and I feel like that's what you're searching for, is this blank slate with this Queen of Wands right here. You're going to be sitting pretty. You're going to understand, you know, positive polarity. You can be on the positive polarity just like she can be, and that's what I like about the Queen of Wands, is that she is a woman, which is technically considered a negative polarity energy, right? So feminine energy, but she sits on the positive polarity. So it's kind of like Hera, the wife of Zeus, or Athena, right? She is a woman with the negative polarity sitting on the positive spectrum of things, where she is perfectly okay with having her own wand. Yes, she has the black cat right there, understanding like that is her own energy, right? She's connected to the cat, but at the same time, she is sitting in the embodiment of light. So that's what the Fool energy is like a blank slate, a brand new beginning. And I feel like that's grand understanding of who you are and what you need to know. So let's look at your which is familiar cards. And that's the cycle of the, the world. I feel like something is ending and then it goes to the Fool just to go back to the Magician energy. So we have the Wisdom energy and we have the Glamour with the Fairy. Yeah, that's the problem, is I feel like you're getting scared by the Devil when you should be focusing more on the Death energy of the ending of the cycle. I feel like the Devil wants to keep you stuck and chained within a loop instead of just allowing you to end something. Because once something ends, I feel like things get a lot better for you. Okay? Once something ends, once this situation is finally over, I feel like you will have a much happier beginning within your life. Remember, the Devil embodies all things negative, evil, and that's what it is. Oh my gosh, I understand what's going on for you. Think about it like this. Do you have something that's kind of like bad, but at the same time it could cause really good things within your life? Remember, Jesus said the devil cannot work against the devil. So when he was casting out demons, right, the Pharisees said, oh, you have the power of the devil. Well, Jesus said to the Pharisees, the devil cannot cast out the devil because the devil does not work against himself. So what you have right here is, I feel like you have a work, or you have a thought, or you have an idea, or maybe this is who you are. Like, you are this right here, or at least this is what the concept is, or this is what your energy is for the month of March. You have this energy going on. A lot of people might see you as being evil and bad, but here's the thing. I don't think that they're saying that even the devil has an ending. That's the death part. People are not understanding the ending of something. And once again, the devil can't work against itself. So if your intentions are actually good, I don't really think anything is bad, because remember, the first level of purgatory has the faithful pagans. Now, I'm not saying that, anyone should be a pagan or anyone should worship the devil or anything like that. I'm just saying that I feel like you're just got a good blend going on, okay? And I feel like with this devil energy, it's just wanting you to not complete something. It's wanting to scare you. It's not wanting you to, like, break through. You have the black cat, fortune meets opportunity, with that black cat with the Queen of Wands, right? The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Once again, it's the underworld where all things pause and begin again, okay? And it doesn't have to do with the devil. It just has to do with death, right? And so when we look at this black cat, fortune meets opportunity, I feel like you had this really good, it's kind of like a cat, right? A black cat. People are always like, oh my gosh, it's a negative entity, whatever. Well, depending on where you are, right? But at the end of the day, a black cat is really just a black cat, right? Yes, it's black. It can be scary, but at the same time, it's an animal. So some people will say, well, it's the symbolism of death. Black is the symbolism of death. Okay, and everyone's going to die. Everything's going to die. Like, move on. So I think people are putting a lot of negative beliefs and negative doubts into something instead of it just being an ending right here. I think maybe people are putting negative beliefs and negative doubts against you. In reality, you're just telling them the concept of life and death, or telling them the ending. So you have one joy, happiness, celebration, harmony, family, fellowships, hope, and good luck. I feel like, oh, we have the Justice coming out. Once again, Justice, perfectly balanced. I pulled from the wrong deck. So we have one show coming out. We have Rakana, encourage ideas, aid creative endeavors, nurture a project, and help with family. I feel like that's very good for you. I think this is all about creative endeavors and encouraging ideas. We have untwist the situation. Cancer got that. Let me get you another one. I feel like you have a project. I think it's just an idea, something being brought to the forefront right here. You have dreams, something from your dreams. Untwist your dreams. Untwist negative ideas, negative fantasies about yourself. Sea Star, focus on regeneration, focus on new life right here. I think that's something that you need to really think about, is focusing on, what's actually hidden beneath the surface. A lot of people will wrap up secrets and say, it's, this, that, and the other. It's the devil, it's this, and a bunch of awful other things. And yes, you could use bad things to hurt people, but you can also use those things that are considered bad to help people. For example, when we look at the concept of, pharmakia, right? A lot of people say it's black magic and it's sorcery. Yes, that's where we get the word pharmacy from. You can heal someone with, you know, natural medicines, but at the same time, if someone is about to die, they might need a natural antibiotic or something that is created. So that's what I'm seeing right there is it's like you're untwisting the negative ideas. And once again, even Jesus said that a sick man needs a doctor. So you have home coming out, you have clarity, you have crystal clarity right here. You're understanding something to a full extent. It's about your home possibly, or you have happiness within your home. Let's look at your, you have ghost regret. You're regretting something from your past right here. But I feel like you're going to have clarity about this regret. You have jack-o'-lantern. You're protected. I feel like that's what's really important to understand is you regret maybe saying something. Maybe your own superstitions are playing upon you right here. Maybe you have a lot of superstitions, Leo, and I feel like you're protected. I feel like you don't really need to have any more regrets right now. Okay, so anyway, I hope you enjoyed this reading, and I'll talk to you later.